Peggy 3. All around the world, farmers know farming is an art. Like life, we know it can be hard. And it can be surprising, too. But sometimes it's about being at the right place at the right time. A wise man once said that the best lessons are learned under the wide open sky. I think the same thing can be said about our art. Yeah, it can be messy, but it's always beautiful. So beautiful it can help you see yourself and the world in all new ways. In the art of farming, the soil is the canvas, the seeds are the paint, and the harvest is the masterpiece.
Hey, this is pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty darn good. Is it missing something? You're too cute to eat. Maybe some fresh spinach for a change?
It's official, Farming Simulator 25 is coming out on November the 12th. This is fantastic news, really looking forward to the release of this game. We did sort of predict it was going to be coming this year because of the trend. It's always been, well, recently it's been 3 years between each main game release. So yes, fantastic that it is indeed now confirmed. So we do have quite a few things to get through, all about the announcement of this game, and of course this was the cinematic trailer, so it's not actual gameplay footage, but I do have some actual in-game screenshots to share with you as well, so we'll have a look at those in just a second. But that cinematic trailer, as always, was very dramatic, very impressive, and did reveal some of the new features. So let's first of all take a look at the press release. Farming Simulator 25 announced with Asian farming, upgraded gameplay and tech. Release November the 12th for PC and consoles. The collector's edition including Ignition Lock and Mega Drive inspired version. We'll have a close look at that in just a minute. Asian farming, 400 plus machines, new crops, animals and more. Cinematic announcement trailer sets the mood, which we've just seen. Publisher and developer Giant Software will flood the fields with a host of new gameplay features, visual upgrades, maps, machines, and even fresh water to grow rice, adding even more agricultural variety to the family-friendly series. Farming Simulator 25 will be released on November the 12th for PC, Mac, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X, S. Extending gameplay, crops, animals and more, virtual farmers manage their agricultural empires in a new, lush East Asian landscape filled with rice paddies, a North American environment with plenty of open space, or a Central European location with green fields between ponds and rivers. Sounds beautiful. Building their legacy single-handedly or cooperatively in multiplayer, they can now grow 2 types of rice, spinach and other new crops, choosing from well over 20 overall. Buffaloes and other animals join the livestock pens, while new production chains and constructions extend business opportunities. More features and details will be revealed soon. And finally, tech upgrade for machines, fields and visuals. Machine enthusiasts enjoy an ensemble of over 400 authentic vehicles, tools and items from more than 150 international top brands, among them Case IH, Claas, Fendt, John Deere, Kubota, Massey Ferguson, New Holland, Valtra and many others. With Asian farming, new types of specialized machines get introduced. Yeah, we could see from the cinematic trailer that there was an Izeki rice planter in there in action in one of the rice paddies. All farmers feel a deeper connection to fields and nature thanks to the general tech upgrade with improved graphics and physics based on the latest and modding-friendly Giants Engine 10. Distance, fog, enhanced shadows, dynamic weather effects, ground deformation, and more boost the immersion of a romantic farming life. Okay, so going back to my video which I published yesterday about the top 10 requests, I think a few of those might have been touched on, but dynamic ground was the most requested, and it does say ground deformation. That's interesting. I wonder if that is sort of dynamic ground. Also, obviously our two new crop types are rice and spinach, which will be interesting. Next, let's have a quick look at the pack shots. This is the one for America, and this features a Case Quadtrac 715. Also, if you pre-order the physical or the digital version, you will get the MacDon pack for free. Here is the German version, the Landwirtschaft Simulator 25. That's got the Claas Zarian on the cover. And finally we have the international version, which does have a Valtra tractor on the front. Also very nice to see that we do have a bit more wildlife, at least it certainly hints it, because we do have the birds flying over, although we did have the storks in the premium edition for FS22. And then we have the collector's edition, which I will be buying, I always do. I'll be showing you this when it gets released, a full unboxing. But as you can see, we have the collector's box, we have the game itself with the pre-order bonus, the USB ignition lock. I know for 22 we had that USB beacon, so you actually have a key to put in the ignition, and yeah, that responds to the in-game vehicles just like the beacon did do. So yeah, it's just like another little immersive piece of hardware. A 16-bit retro edition and soundtrack CD by Chris Hosbeck. I do apologise if I have pronounced that incorrectly. A keychain which says Farming Simulator and Giants on it. 3 A2 posters. It looks like that is a crop calendar, one of those. Can't really see the other ones. Modding tutorials CD. 32 brand stickers and also a New Holland CR11 Gold Edition. I'm guessing you'll be provided with a key or something like that so that you can activate that in the game. Okay, so some actual in-game screenshots. We do have a Fendt Vario 728 tractor here with a drill on the back, and yeah, you can definitely tell that the trees are more detailed. We do have some kind of depth of field effect going on there. Looking at the textures for the drilling, very hard to tell any kind of 3D texture sort of thing, dynamic ground from that. It's a shame actually there isn't a screenshot of a tractor and a plough, but that does still look quite 2D, just looking at that. We have the Case Axial Flow 11 combine harvest here. Absolutely huge machine. I think it's over 700 horsepower, this one. Yeah, big header, harvesting what looks to be wheat. I think, yeah, the wheat looks to be, the crops do look to be more dense, so that's definitely an improvement. Yeah, you can really see, it's also not like uniform, if you know what I mean. It's all very random. The plants are random, it looks more natural. Again, looking at the trees in the background, they do look to be very lush, more detailed, and if you look to the right hand side, you can actually see how the sunlight is catching the dust from the combine. You can see the beams of sunlight coming through those trees. Very beautiful actually, that looks nice. And if we're going to get even more atmospheric, we do have this very low fog, very shallow fog in the valley, in the river here. I don't know which map this is. If I was to have a guess, it is the European map because it did mention rivers. So yeah, it's not like the others don't have rivers, but yeah, this one actually did mention a river, and it looks quite European. It looks very natural, very lush. Just trying to pick out other details, but I don't think there's anything that really catches my eye. It's just, it's just showing the fog. Next we have a Claas Zarian 12650, and immediately I'm drawn to that winch cable on the front. So is there winching in the game? Or is it just there for decoration? That would be interesting to find out. But the fact that it's there sort of makes you think it might have winching. Yeah, just speculation. Again, we've got the very low fog there. Probably a very damp morning. Again, the crop does look to be much better. I think the crops do look a lot more realistic. Loving the look of that. But yeah, I don't think we actually have a screenshot yet of in-game rice planting, or indeed the spinach. But what we do have is the MacDon R216 SP, and as you can see, that is a swather. That is cutting the grass, putting it into a swath. I think the swaths do look to be very similar to previous versions. So yeah, just looking around, there's not an awful lot to say about that except for the nice new machine that we have here. Nice to see swathers in the game. And here we have another shot of the MacDon M1240 in the American Maps yard, or at least one of them. So yeah, although we're going to have to wait for some actual in-game screenshots of the rice paddies and the actual machinery involved with that, and the buffalo in fact, we can still sort of get an idea of this from the cinematic trailer. You can see the buffalo there in the foreground. We've got an Izeki machine. I actually did look up the model number for this, and it looks like it probably is a PRJ8DZ-E16, which actually weighs less than a ton, amazingly. And yeah, that is a rice transplanter. Clearly we do have to flood the rice paddies with a 4-stroke petrol engine, so it's going to be interesting to see how we actually get to use that in the game. Maybe you do simply just walk up to it and press a button and it will start, or maybe there's all the pipe work which you also have to deal with. That'd be interesting if you have to set all that up. We can see officially licensed Aprilia bikes in the game as well, so another mode of transportation, or just have a load of fun driving over the fields with a motocross bike. And finally, let's take a quick look at the Year 1 Season Pass. So in the first quarter of 2025, we're going to get an Innovative Machinery DLC. In the second quarter, we're going to get Performance on Plains and Prairies. Don't know if that's a new map, but yeah, that could be a Canadian map or maybe an American map like Colorado or something like that, if it is a map. Funny though, because when we go to the end in just a second, it does actually specify a new map. Anyway, third quarter of 25, The Stars Align. I have no idea what that could be. That's interesting. And then yeah, the fourth quarter of 25, dive into a new map. That's the big expansion, probably the Platinum expansion, and that looks to be a UK map. It looks like the Lake District of Scotland or something. So very interesting. Giants actually haven't made a British map before, so way overdue. It really is way overdue, but very exciting. Are those Aberdeen Angus cows? Let me know in the comments down below. It does look like Scotland, but we'll probably have to wait quite some time before we find out any more information about that. So that is it for this video. Very exciting, really nice to see that we do have Farming Simulator 25 on the horizon. If you do want to pre-order, the link is down below in the description. Always great when you do buy through my link, always very supportive. And I'll be doing more videos on this as soon as we have more information. Maybe tomorrow, maybe in a few weeks' time, we'll see. But of course we do have FarmCon coming up in the near future as well. Anyway, thanks for watching everybody, and I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.